Hey guys, welcome back to the United Star. It's been a very difficult week for us United fans. Obviously, we lost to Liverpool. We were smashed open by them 5-0. Mohamed Salah hat trick. And it was a really damning defeat for Ole because it started the conversation around him whether he was fit to run Manchester, whether he was fit to lead Manchester United into the back to our glory days, whether he was fit to be the manager of probably one of the best, one of the biggest teams in the world, obviously, but arguably one of the better squads in the league too. Uh, was he the man? Will he can he be the man to win us trophies, to win us the league, to all of that? Uh, but this video is not about whether Oli should be the manager or shouldn't be the manager. I'm sure over this week you've had time and you've made the decision for yourself. If not the Liverpool game, you must have decided from before the game itself that if Oli is the right man for you. And for the majority of the United fans that I have spoken to and interacted with on Twitter and Instagram, I've seen that the general trend is that everyone wants Oli to be sacked and not to continue as the manager of United. I think only Phil Neville has strongly advocated, and uh, that seemed to work out. Apparently, he's going to be the manager against Spurs. That has been almost confirmed. Apparently, Sir Alex Ferguson also was in uh, support of Ole and wanted him to continue. So that's going to happen, and we will see that against Spurs. But however, this the conversation around Ollie's successor has started, and it's gaining momentum. There's been discussions around who could replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the manager of Manchester United, and several names have popped up. There's obviously the main name that's popped up is Antonio Conte. There's also mentions of Zidane. There's mentions of Eric Ten Hag from Ajax. There's mentions of Jose Enrique, the manager of Spain. So there are a lot of names being thrown in there. What we'll do is we'll take a look at all these names. We'll look at what the advantages are, what the disadvantages are of each manager. Will the playing style suit United? Will their philosophy suit United? Would the manager be fit at United, or would it be a mistake to get that manager in? So let's get into it. I think the first manager, like I said, Antonio Conte. He's been uh, obviously his name is thrown around so much because he is probably the only high-profile manager who's out of a job currently, who's not managing any team. Uh, he's been linked to United, and apparently, if the Fabrizio Romano is to be believed, uh, he would be happy to take up the United job, even though isn't too keen on taking a job mid-season. He would do it for United because he considers United to be a very big club and a major club. Uh, I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is. But now Antonio Conte we've seen he's a serial winner. He was fantastic with the Italian squad. He was great with Juventus. He won the league with Chelsea. He obviously with Juventus before he reached the Champions League final, which they lost to Barca. He won the league with Chelsea. He went back to Italy and managed Inter Milan, who weren't that great, but he created a good squad at Inter Milan, and he won the league there with Inter Milan as well. So there's no denying that Conte is a serial winner, and that he would be a good manager. He would uh, he would win things at whichever club he went. Uh, his playing style. He plays the signature 3-5-2 or the 3-4-3 that he did with Chelsea, and that style could possibly be much better than the 4-2-3-1 we play with Ole plays right now with United, because uh, we'll have a better defense with Varane, Maguire, and Lindelof. We could have Luke Shaw on the left wing as a left wing back. Our right wing back role could be a little dicey because Wan-Bissaka isn't that good going forward, and Dalot isn't that good defensively. But we'll see who comes in there. We could see maybe a Jadon Sancho be put there, or some other winger be put there. It also helps because in a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, Donny could be used very well in that role in the midfield, and he could get a chance to play with Pogba and with Bruno. So there are a lot of advantages to having this sort of a formation that Conte plays. Not only that, Antonio Conte is he's like I said, he's won everything, and he's a no bullshit man. So no bullshit kind of manager. So if he sees some result, if he sees the results in training, he's going to reward that, which you could say Oli hasn't been doing. I mean, we don't know what happens behind the scenes in the training sessions, but uh, I'm pretty sure Fred and McTominay aren't the best midfielders, aren't the best, aren't the midfielders at United who are training the best. Or they might be, but he's not given a chance to Donny. He's not given. He's been. You could say he's a little biased there. So maybe Conte would not do that. He would be a little more uh, rewarding in terms of your training performances. Donny could get a lifeline, and that I would love to see that. I would love to see Donny being a part of United. I don't like reading the rumors that he's going to be leaving in Jan or he's going to be leaving United. I really like him as a player, and I think he could be very beneficial if he is played in the right manner. So these are all the advantages. He's great. He's obviously serial winner. His formation is very good. Defensively solid team. He concedes very little goals, and attacking wise, he still gets. He scores a lot of goals too. It's a sort of misunderstanding. Everyone thinks that Conte's teams are very defensive, but it's just that they're defensively solid, and they're quite good going forward too. Uh, yeah, so that's the thing. But now we come to the disadvantages, and uh, although Conte is a very good manager, there are some disadvantages, and the first one is that I think of is he's never had he's not had a long term stint with any of the clubs that I mentioned. Uh, Chelsea was a 2-year thing, and Inter Milan again. Even though they won the league, he left the next season, and that goes on to show that Conte is very aggressive in terms of what he wants from a club, and if he doesn't get that, he is ready to move on. Uh, he is very headstrong in that manner. He needs the players that he wants. He needs the coaching staff that he wants. He needs everything to work according to him, and that might not sit well with with the United board. Nothing sits well with them anyway, but that might not, because they wouldn't they they're obviously not proactive in any of their dealings with Manchester United. So having Antonio Conte come in and telling them to do this, to do that, they won't do that. They won't end up doing that, and they might see this as a relationship waiting to be, waiting to fall apart. Uh, Antonio Conte, short-term manager, is he the right option? Would he be the person to, I mean, to be honest, if he wins the league and he goes the next season, I'm fine with that. I would be completely fine with that. But we don't know how it would work out, because we do have a good squad, but Conte has to come in. He has to do something with the squad quickly, and then everything has to work out. A lot of things have to align for him to continue to stay as a United manager, and which hasn't happened in the past. So it's unlikely that it would happen again. And I think that's the problem with Conte. United, obviously, we talk the not we, but like the United board. Everyone talks about the United style of play, the United way of football, but uh, and maybe Conte doesn't fit that role, fit that philosophy of football. But people tend to forget that Sir Alex Ferguson's style of football wasn't only attack. His style of football was to get the result, and that is what is important. If we had to set out a team defensively, he would do that. If we had to set out a team attackingly, obviously he would do that. But at the end of the day, the result is what matters, and that is why Sir Alex Ferguson is the greatest manager of all time. And Antonio Conte would do something like that. He would not. Obviously, I'm not comparing him or with anyone. I'm just saying that he would put out a team to win the game, and he would do it in a manner which was more calculated approach compared to maybe what Solskjaer does right now, who seems to rely a lot on the individual brilliance of Ronaldo, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno. And Conte's system wouldn't be like that. Conte's system is very intense. It's very structured. It's very tactical. Every player has a defined role in terms of what they are supposed to do in terms of what the pattern of the play is, in terms of situations like if the midfielder has a ball and there's a player charging, who is he supposed to pass to, what are the options are, all of that, which I believe Solskjaer, I don't know if he lacks or he just doesn't prepare the team for it, but you don't see it in the games. So that's about Conte. That's about, and he's again the most rumored. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but he's the guy who apparently is the favorite to take up the job after Ole. Moving on this, Zidane is also mentioned quite a lot. And if some reports are to be believed, he's not keen to take on the United job for whatever reasons he has. Uh, Personally, although obviously I have to say Zidane has obviously won three Champions Leagues in a row, and he transformed. He didn't transform, but under him, Ronaldo was uh, at the peak of his Real Madrid like career. I'm not saying that he's not at the peak right now or wasn't a year back at Juventus. He's a fantastic beast altogether. But yeah, uh, Zidane made that team into a three-time League winning team, which uh, even if Zidane isn't that great of a manager, you have to give credit to that. You have to give him credit for that. No other manager has been able to do it. Pep hasn't been able to do it. None of the managers have been able to do it. So you have to give him credit for that. And again, he would be a person who would come into the United team, and it's again like a sort of impact that Oli had when he first came in, where he could talk about. He could inspire the team from his own experiences as a phenomenal player that he was. He could tell them, it's that sort of mental uplift that a Zinedine Zidane, who they've probably grown up watching, or some of them are too young, but they've always heard about that best footballer, Ballon d'Ors and all, and it would be a mental upliftment to see Zidane come into the team. Tactically, I don't know if uh, it works out. Zidane obviously plays a very good, a positive brand of football where you may concede a goal, but you always outscore the opponent. It's not about keeping it tight at the back and nicking in the goal to win. It's about uh, okay, you may concede, but at the end of the day, you have to outscore your opponent, and that's how you win the game. And that sits well with a lot of fans, and might sit well with the United board too. His style of play. So that would be something to look into. But again, like I said, he's apparently not too keen on taking the United job, so it's not really worth even talking about much more. Moving on, now this is a name which hasn't really come up too much. It has come up, but it's only been through the fans, through their opinions. It's never been some no media outlet has really rumored this deal to happen, but it's Eric Ten Hag from Ajax. Now, again, like I said, he's sort of a fan favorite because of what he's done and what he's achieved with Ajax. He's been fantastic for them. We all remember that Ajax team which he created with Frankie de Jong, Matthias de Ligt, uh, Donny van de Beek, Ziyech, Dusan Tadic, and all of those fantastic players who lost to Spurs in the semi-finals by that Lucas Moura hat trick. uh, heartbreaking loss that was. I remember that very clearly. But yeah, I mean, Eric Ten Hag has created that team. He's fantastic at that. He's been very good with Ajax. He is. Donny would be very happy getting Eric Ten Hag into the team. And not only that, Eric Ten Hag is obviously a manager who is who's used to the Ajax philosophy and uh, the way of football that they have in Ajax. And Ajax is probably one of the best footballing institutions in the world. So to have a manager to come in from such an institution would be a great would be fantastic for United, because he could, if given the time, sort of instill that philosophy of of just the way of football and help Manchester United transition into the mess they are right now into a much more stable unit. And that is what Ten Hag could do. However, Ten Hag has obviously not had much experience outside the Eredivisie. He's only managed Ajax, and he's obviously managed some European games too in the Champions League with Ajax. But uh, it's a little dicey to predict how he would perform in the Premier League, where every game every week is a tough game, and you don't have easy games. You have to win. There's a lot of pressure. There's media pressure. You're always under the limelight. Plus, it's Manchester United, so it's double the limelight other teams get. It's all of that. So it'll be interesting to see if he does get the job, how he copes with it. But I think uh, the advantage of Ten Hag is obviously that footballing philosophy, and also he will be good with the academy kids. He's a manager who likes to promote the academy players, who likes to get in players from the academy. And Antonio Conte and Zidane both are managers who aren't that good with that. Conte especially, because like I said, he's more of a temporary 2 year one 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons sort of manager. So he doesn't have the time. He needs his players, he needs the best players, and he wants to promote them and not really worry about the academy. United have such brilliant players in such as Hannibal and Anthony Alanga, who are at the cusp right now. So if a manager who doesn't support them comes in right now, it would be difficult for them to progress, and we could end up losing these players. So these are the three managers who United have been probably linked with the most. Um, my personal favorite, though, would be Jose Enrique. Now, again, uh, Jose Enrique has been fantastic in my opinion. He revolutionized that Barca team with Xavi and Iniesta and Messi and the MSN, the Messi, Suarez, Neymar, and they won the treble. And I think he was fantastic with them. I really enjoyed the playing style that he had with Barca. Obviously, we all remember the 6-1 win against PSG, the remontada, where they came back from 4-0 down in the first leg and they qualified. So I really enjoy watching his teams play. I really enjoyed watching the Spanish team play and the Euros very recently. So Jose Enrique is my personal favorite. I would love to see him come to United. I would love to see him be the next face of United, to give him time, to give him the resources to help transform this club into a very into a different um, entity altogether. However, again, I think it's very difficult to prize him off Spanish national team, because it was his dream job to manage Spain, the national team, and we'll have the World Cup coming up next year. So unlikely that he would uh, leave the Spanish team just 1 year before the World Cup. I think it's similar with Ten Hag. He just very recently signed a 5 year contract with Ajax, so it's going to be difficult to prize him away from Ajax. But I think that's all we have for today. Do let us know in the comments who you think would be the perfect manager for United if Ole was to be sacked. I'd say when Ole was to be sacked is to be when Ole will be sacked. So do let me know who your favorite manager is, who you would like to see in the United dressing room. That's all we have for today. Do like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.